So let's do a quick tutorial on how to apply loose mineral foundation. First, you want to have your loose mineral color, the shade that is matching your skin, and one of two brushes. You can have the flat top foundation brush or the blending face brush. It just depends on the coverage that you want, but I'll get into that later. So to start, I'm going to prep my skin. That's really important in foundation application. I'm going to take my hydrating toner, the Marine Mineral Toner, spritz my face, gets it nice and hydrated before foundation. Then I'm going to take Smooth Priming Serum. So this is our primer, which is so great for underneath your foundation. Take a few drops of that and just blend it between your hands and apply it everywhere on your face. And as you can see, I've already done the rest of my makeup, so it's just my foundation and concealer that I need to do. And then you apply your moisturizer. So you want to do the priming serum first and then your moisturizer next. So I'll take my Berry and Bouquet Hydrating Cream, just a little bit of that on my fingertips, blend it between my hands, and apply it everywhere. And ideally you want to let it soak into the skin a little bit unless you need a bit of stickiness to your skin. Next, I'll take my concealer. So I'm going to use the stick concealer, or you can use our liquid concealer. It doesn't matter, whichever one you prefer. And I'm going to apply that under my eyes. And that's pretty much all I'll use for concealer. I don't really need it anywhere else because the loose mineral foundation covers great on its own. So dab a little bit under the eyes and make sure you blend it in. You can apply concealer before or after your loose mineral foundation. I find that applying it before your loose mineral foundation works better because then the powder sort of sets the concealer. But if you're using liquid foundation, then I would apply the concealer after the foundation. So my loose mineral color at the moment is Atlantic Bisque. So I take off the lid. There's usually a little bit of powder in the lid. But if there's not, you can dump a little bit into it. And you want to start with just a little bit of powder because it is a full coverage product and it's best to add layers instead of putting too much on right away. So you just dip your brush into the lid. And I'm using the flat top foundation brush because that offers more coverage. So if you want full coverage, use the flat top foundation brush. If you want a lighter coverage, use the blending face brush. So once you've put the powder in the brush, you tap it into the palm of your hand. And then I like to dot it onto my face, starting on one half first, and then sweep it in. Like that. Make sure you blend it along the jaw and back toward the ear. You can already see how much redness it took away in my skin. So all of that redness on my cheek is gone. Pretty good coverage. So now the same thing on the other side. Blend your brush into the lid where there's product. Tap that into the palm of your hand. Dot that on your skin. And then sweep downward. I like using downward strokes because it goes with the hair. So everybody's got hairs on their faces, and if you go against the hairs, it draws attention to them. But if you go down with the way the hair grows, then you're not going to draw attention to the hairs. Some people like to swirl their minerals on their skin, and that's totally fine. If that works for you, that's great. That's a great way to buff it into the skin and make a really natural look. For my skin, that just doesn't work so well. So I prefer dabbing it on and then swiping it down. It's not a bad idea to add a little bit of blush and bronzer or contour powder or highlight just to add a little bit of dimension to the face, because the loose mineral foundation is quite a full coverage, so it just totally blanks out the skin. So it's great to add a little bit more dimension to the skin by adding those products as well.